Well, it feels like Amazon takes over a lot of aspects of daily life, right? It's about to get even bigger. Amazon expanding further into healthcare. The tech giant is buying One Life Healthcare, a company that operates more than 180 primary healthcare clinics across the country. Now, this is close to worth to about $4 billion. In acquisitions and positions to provide health benefits to employees and individuals, including in-person and virtual services. So I want to welcome Christy Nordhelm, Associate Professor of Marketing at Georgetown School of Business. Thank you so much for being with us. Why would anybody, I think is the first question, why in the world would anybody want Amazon, this massive retail company, to have access to personal health care records or to know what kind of medication one might be taking?
Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Adrian, that probably everyone already knows that. If you're on Google or if you're engaged in any form of social media, then there's a pretty good chance that that your healthcare data is fairly public anyway. And when Amazon, if and when Amazon completes this acquisition, they will actually be more highly regulated than the Googles of the world who, when you go online to search for a medication or search for the side effects of a medication, can share that information instantaneously. So in many ways, Amazon will be more highly regulated and more controlled because of this acquisition.
On the flip side, I'm sure there are a lot of people who would see this like Walmart, you know, in terms of why is it even a big deal? Why is it even newsworthy?
Well, it's newsworthy because nobody has cracked this code yet, the healthcare/data code. Because on one hand, there's a privacy issue, but with everything in social media and with the internet and with technology, there's a trade-off, and the trade-off here is between privacy and health. Ironically, the more data that is available, healthcare data that's available to Amazon or anyone, the better off we'll all be, because it enables us to do more research, and enables us to share information across different specialties and things like that. So actually access to data in this particular area has a benefit not just on convenience, but also on possible health of both us as individuals and also as a society.
How does this position Amazon competitively, especially in light of the metaverse?
Well, they have to crack the nut. So nobody has cracked it yet. It's a big nut. Amazon does want to be healthcare expenditure 20% of the GDP, so it's a big deal for whoever wins this space. But right now it's fragmented, and we don't know that Amazon is going to pull this off.
What about Apple, Google? Obviously, they've dipped their toes into the healthcare market as well. How have they done?
Nothing to report that's positive. They've made some inroads here and there, but some false starts, and nobody's cracked the nut yet. So we'll see if Amazon can. On the bright side, Amazon does have fantastic core competency in data analysis and data analytics, et cetera. Their service record for these type of things is a little questionable. The question of whether they're going to try to squeeze the costs out of the system by squeezing the people providing the services is a big question.
Is there anything that consumers should do? People who are trying to be prepared for this next wave of healthcare, because whoever decidedly cracks the nut is going to actually take this off, and it's going to become commonplace. It's going to become an everyday thing. So what should we all as Americans and around the world maybe prepare ourselves for with this new wave of healthcare online?
Sure. Well, the ideal state is that consumers themselves have control over their own information, and that is never more important than it is in healthcare information. So if a consumer has the ability to control and also share their information when they want to, that's the ideal state. So they need to be vigilant to know who is, what they're acknowledging, what data they're releasing, and where it's going. And that's a big task for any consumer. But that's the thing, that's what we need to do as consumers, is pay attention to who has our information and what's being done with it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.